Welcome to this mindful yoga practice where you have the opportunity to connect with yourself, connect with your body, just as it is in this moment, with nothing to achieve, nowhere to be, nowhere to go, no certain point or shape to make, just sensing into the body. As we go through these different movements and positions, you'll find the edge for you, that point where pushing beyond may not be wise, but lingering at the edge and exploring and seeing what is present from moment to moment is the invitation for this practice. Knowing that you are the wise guide and to take care of yourself in a way that is kind and befriending, making any adjustments that you need to from the guidance that's given, and even knowing that skipping a posture and imagining it in the mind or just being is also okay. Just doing your best to be present from moment to moment as we move. This will be a predominantly standing practice. You could always do it from a chair if standing is not supportive for you today. But if it is, I'll invite you to stand with your feet about 6 inches apart, about 2 fist width distance, with your feet parallel to each other. And even maybe just taking note of how that feels to have the feet lined up in this way. Feeling the feet down on the ground, maybe the pressure under the right foot and the left foot. And where do you feel the pressure? Feel it in the balls of the feet or the heels? Maybe even shifting around a little bit, noticing how the weight shifts, where you feel that in the feet. And letting yourself settle in there, feeling down through 4 corners of your feet. Big toe mounds, little pinky toe mounds, both sides of the heels. Allowing the arms to rest down by the sides or even palms facing forward. Pulling in through the belly button so the pelvis is stable. Finding a nice long spine with the shoulders back, the ears on top of the shoulders. Imagining maybe a string pulling you from the tip of the head up. And just sensing into the body in this way, what's present for you right now. If there are strong sensations, feeling into them, exploring them to see what's present. If you do find a strong sensation, exploring how big or small, heavy or light, sharp or dull, constant, changing. And when the mind wanders, as the mind does, just inviting it back to this present moment, to the present focus. And taking a nice deep breath in, let the arms reach up overhead. Pausing wherever is enough for your shoulders. But maybe even letting them come all the way up overhead to touch, or maybe you interlock the thumbs. Finding anything that feels supportive to you, finding length through the spine, growing tall. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let the arms float down to the side, exploring the sensations and how they change or stay the same as the arms float all the way back down beside you. And just pausing there. Maybe there's tingling, pulsing, warmth, burning. And again, take a nice deep breath in as you reach the arms up overhead. If it feels good on the chin, you can lift on the neck, you can lift the chin. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, let the arms float back down beside you. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms out nice and wide, all the way up overhead. You can lift the chin. Exhale, allowing the arms to float down, letting the chin tuck as the arms come right back down beside you, and pausing. Where is the sensation? And what does it feel like? Now reach the arms out wide to the side, shoulder height this time if that's comfortable, or lower if not. Flexing the wrists so that the fingers are pointing up toward the ceiling and you're pressing away like you're holding two walls away. You can spread the fingers out wide and flex the wrists back, extending through the arms nice and strong, feeling the stretch this direction as you reach out and across, palm to palm. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you can point your fingers down toward the floor so that the wrist flexes and this points downward. And then bringing the palms back out wide, flexing the wrist back, and pointing down again. And then bringing the hands back out to neutral, take a breath in. And as you exhale, mindfully lowering the arms back down beside, sensing into the efforts to keep the arms in that position. Noticing how they feel as they relax beside you now. And drawing the right arm up toward the ceiling as high as feels good to you. Reaching just the one arm upward and then reaching, extending through the side, having as big of reach as you can. And then and lifting that left heel up off the ground and feeling even more of a stretch along the right side. Lengthening upward, reaching upward. Maybe like you're trying to get those grapes. Last little bit there. Take a breath in. You can lower the heel down and let the right arm float back down beside you. Raising the left arm up toward the ceiling or as high as feels good to you. Lengthening upward, reaching upward. Feel that whole length on the left side. Where all is the stretch? Maybe from heel to fingertips. You can lift the right heel up, finding even more of a stretch along the left side. Reaching for those delicious grapes. Just within fingertip reach, almost. Take a breath in. And releasing the arm right back down beside you. Pausing there with both arms beside. Exploring the sensation here. And taking a deep breath in, letting the arms come up and overhead. Maybe grabbing onto the thumbs or just reaching up as high as feels good to you. Taking a breath. And as you exhale, reaching over to the right side. Feeling the stretch along the left side. Finding a place to be able to hold and pause. If it becomes too much, knowing you can always come out. Taking care of yourself. Noticing the edge. Where's the stopping point? And maybe moving just before the stopping point. Or maybe you even find as you breathe into it, there's some ease created, some space, but just exploring. Whatever is there today. Take a breath in and an exhale. Inhaling yourself right back up to standing. Take a breath in and then exhale the arms down beside you, letting them float all the way down to the sides. Pausing with them down alongside to sense into what the feeling is now. Exploring the thoughts that arise in each of these positions, with the holding, with the moving, and all that arises moment to moment. Taking a breath in, reaching the arms up overhead. Maybe connecting the thumbs again. You could put the opposite thumb on top. Take a breath in, find length, and then exhaling over to the left side, lengthening through the side body. Noticing where the edge is, seeing how it feels to be in this shape, in this moment. Take a breath in, deep exhale, inhaling up to the center, exhaling, letting the arms float back down beside you. Pausing with the arms resting at the side. Exploring the sensation here. Allowing the shoulders to pull into the ears and then pulling them forward in front of the chest, down to the floor and back behind. Rotating them around as you do these shoulder rolls with as much movement as feels good to you. Finding each of those points. Exploring the sensation with the shoulder rolls. Pausing and reversing that. Start going the opposite way. And letting the arms rest down again, just pausing there. And as you're ready, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, allowing the chin to drop to the chest. Keep the shoulders back, letting the head relax down, feeling the weight of the head pull the neck forward. Exploring the sensations with the neck in this position. And take a breath in. And as you exhale, rotating the head over to one side, allowing the ear to drop to the shoulder relax down. Being mindful of the neck and what feels good for you. Take a breath in. You can rotate the head through the center over to the second side, allowing the ear to drop to the shoulder. Letting the shoulder relax down as you see how it feels in this direction. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you can rotate the head through center and continue to draw a circle with your neck. If that does not feel good for your neck or makes you dizzy, you can look right and left or up and down. This is a chance to make this your own practice and do what feels best to you, knowing you're in control of how big or small the movement is, how fast or slow. And then just seeing what's there, what comes up as you explore the neck. Pause and circle the other way. And as you're ready, pausing back in the center, finding stillness for a moment, exploring the neck. What sensations are present? And you can step the feet apart a little bit further so that you still feel secure and balanced on both feet. Extending the arms out shoulder height, that wide to the side, extending through the fingertips. Letting the weight shift over to the right foot so that your left heel maybe lifts up off the ground and maybe you're just on the toes on the left foot. You could stay balanced there or maybe come to just the big toe. Or maybe lift the toes up off the ground so you're just balanced on the right leg. You could always place yourself close to a chair or to a wall for support. Or keep the toe tapping down or close by. And just exploring balance. Noticing what it feels like to be balanced on this leg. The effort that it takes. The muscles that it takes. To resist gravity. To stay up tall. Take a breath in and gently lower the left foot down. Let the arms rest down beside you and just pausing there, sensing into weight in both feet, being balanced on both feet. And then when you're ready, shifting the weight over to the left leg, extending the arms out wide to the side, stretching through the fingertips, shoulders away from the ears, and then maybe lifting up the right heel, so just the toes are down, or maybe just the big toe, or maybe even lifting the right foot up off the ground, finding balance just on the left leg. Sensing into all that work and effort to balance you, keeping both legs strong, extending through the fingers, exploring the effort and what comes up in the mind with this work, the shoulders and the legs, with all the effort to balancing. And take a breath in, exhaling the leg back down, allowing the arms to float down to the side, pausing there. Both feet down on the ground. Exploring that sensation. And keeping the feet in that same position, bringing the hands to the hips. Standing up tall, take a breath in. As you exhale, gazing over the right shoulder and then allowing even the torso to twist, but keep the hips facing forward. So twisting through the torso, through the neck as you look back as far as feels good to you. Pausing there, being mindful of your edges and when is enough for you. Take a breath in and bringing yourself back to the center. Inhale, find length. Exhale, gazing over the left shoulder and allowing even the torso to twist as the hips stay forward. Looking back over this left shoulder as far as is comfortable and available to you, finding that edge. Exploring that area, those sensations. Take a breath in. Exhaling yourself back to the center. Inhale, find length. Exhale, gazing over the right shoulder and the torso twist and let the hips twist this time, keeping the feet facing forward, being mindful of the knees, the ankles as you twist back. And just noticing how the body twists in this way. And take a breath in. Exhaling back to the center. Inhaling, finding length. Exhale, let the head twist, the torso. You can let the hips twist all the way down to the ankles, back over the left shoulder. Pausing there. Noticing how it feels to be twisted to this side and this way. Take a breath in and gently unwinding back to the center. Relax the arms down, just pausing. You can bring the feet back toward one another so that they're just that 6 inches apart, parallel to each other. Bringing the hands back to the hips, balancing on the right foot. Let the left toes come out in front just a little bit so they're tapped on the floor. You can keep them there as a kickstand, or you could lift the toes up off the ground. You could even bring the thigh up to parallel, keeping the heel underneath the knee. You could extend one arm up toward the ceiling or both. You could have one hand on a chair or a wall, feeling the balance, the effort to keep you in this position. Nice and tall. Take a breath in, feeling that effort, that work. And then exhaling down, let the arms float down as you slowly lower that leg back down. Pausing on both feet. Exploring the right and left sides. And shifting weight to the left leg, getting the left leg nice and strong. Letting the right toes come out in front. They can stay on the ground. You could lift them up off the ground. You could bring the thigh up to parallel with the heel underneath the knee. You could reach one arm up toward the ceiling or both arms. Nice and tall as you lengthen up. Breathing in and out through the nose. Finding lots of length. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering the arms down as you bring the leg back down. Finding balance over both feet. Pausing in this position. And from this position, we'll take a ragdoll position. Lots of ways to support you. One of which would be to bring a chair out in front. And then just bending over, letting the hands rest on the chair as you send the hips back. Letting the spine be as long as you can. You could also bring the hands to the legs if you would like. And then just bending the knees as much as you need to for support in the low back. Maybe you hang all the way down, ragdolling down. Just being mindful of what feels good in your body. Bending the knees as much as you need to protect the low back. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Seeing where you experience the sensation, what it feels like. And if you've got your hands on the chair, you can keep them there. If you'd like to, you could also place your hands on the legs and then flatten out the back so the spine's nice and long. You could extend the right arm forward along the ear as if you were holding onto a chair out in front, or maybe the palm faces in. Just getting nice and long through the spine. Breathing in and out through the nose. Releasing the right arm down and extending the left arm forward. Allowing the left hand to come to the leg, making sure the knees are bent, pulling in through the belly button, lifting the chest as you come all the way back up to standing. Take a nice deep breath in as you reach the arms up overhead, lengthening upward, making a nice big stretch. Nice and tall. Take a breath in. And exhale, let the arms float down beside you. Pausing, exploring the sensation from that movement. For chair pose, With your feet still about 6 inches apart, parallel to each other, extend the arms straight out in front of you from the shoulders, palms facing one another. You can pull the shoulders back and down, pull the belly button in, and then sit back like you were sitting in a chair. Finding a place where you could hold it, pulling in through the belly, being mindful of the edges, making sure that there's no sharp pain being created here, but that there's some work, some muscle effort in the thighs to keep us balanced in this way, the shoulders to keep the arms reaching and to help balance, feeling the weight even in the feet, nice and firmly on the ground as the hips go back, pulling in through the stomach, and maybe you sink down even further. Maybe you just hold right where you are, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, noticing what even comes up in the mind with this holding, the work and effort here, knowing you can come out at any point, but maybe you stay for a few more moments here. Weight in the heels, take a breath in, and exhale, press yourself back up to standing, relax the arms down, and then just experiencing the feelings, the sensations, maybe the heart beating, the lungs, respiration. Allow the feet to come together, and you may, for this next balancing pose, tree pose, you may want the wall or the chair nearby. Rooting down through the left leg, get it strong, squeeze it up tight and turn the right knee out to the side. The toes could stay on the ground, or you could pick the foot up and let it rest on the inside of the leg, above or below the knee. You could bring one hand to your heart or both. You could reach one arm up toward the ceiling or both. And then just pausing in this tree pose, exploring the work, the effort. Maybe even letting the hands touch overhead, palms could touch or fingers could interlace. You could squeeze the arms to the head, making this your tree pose. And take a breath in. As you exhale, gently allowing the arms to float down, allowing the foot to float down with the arms. Finding the balance on both feet, exploring the right and left sides. Well, now as you're ready, shifting the weight to the right leg, squeezing the right leg up tight. Let the left knee turn out to the side. Toes can stay on the ground. You could pick that foot up high or low, above or below the knee. You could bring one or both hands to the heart. You could reach one or both arms upward. Finding tree pose on this side and being patient. That friendliness to yourself for whatever the balance is in this moment. Just exploring, investigating, being curious. What's here right now? Maybe clasping the hands over the head or interlacing the fingers, squeezing the arms to the head. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, gently releasing the arms down, allowing the leg to float down the same. Pausing in this mountain pose. Feeling the weight on both feet. Balanced. And as you're ready, mindfully making your way to a seated position on the floor if that's comfortable. Otherwise, you could come to the chair. If you're staying in the chair, you could bring your right foot into the groin or across the left knee, newspaper style. Like you're reading the newspaper. If that's too much in the hip, you could let the left leg extend and just take the right ankle across the left, letting the knee open that way. And if it's comfortable on the floor, or mostly comfortable, you could always prop your hips up on a pillow, block, or a blanket, something to lift the hips a little bit if you feel that rounding of the spine in the back. Propping the hips can help you keep the pelvis level. And then just letting the soles of the feet come together and either letting the hands be back behind you to press the hips forward, or even interlacing the hands underneath the feet, being careful not to pull on the toes, but just using the support of the arms there to help you sit tall, allowing the knees to open in a way that supports you right now and where you are, being mindful of the edges and what's right for you in this moment. Exploring the sensations, the emotions, the thoughts. What's here now? Take a breath in. Deep exhale. Now keep the right leg bent, extending the left leg out long. And if you're in a chair, sliding forward on the chair, extending the left leg out long, keeping the right knee bent, flat on the floor this time. And then lengthening upward, extending the arms up overhead, having a nice, big, long reach, feeling yourself nice and tall. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, folding over this left leg, feeling the stretch in the back of the leg, being mindful of where the stretch is and what's best for you. If you need to bend the left leg a little to protect the back, you can. On. Allowing the head to tuck, to drop down if that's comfortable. And take a breath in. Deep exhale. You can gently bring yourself back up and extend the right leg out. Pausing there for a moment. You can use your hands back behind you for support. Just exploring the right and left sides here. And then allow the left leg to bend, bringing the sole of the foot in toward the groin. Or if you're in the chair, let the left foot be on the ground with the left knee bent, right leg extended out. Extending the arms up overhead, reaching up, finding lots of length first, and then exhaling over that right leg. Allowing the hands to rest wherever feels best on this side. Maybe a bend in the right leg is more supportive. Maybe allowing the chin to tuck. And take a breath in, a deep exhale. And bringing your body back up and extending both legs out long. You can use your hands back behind you for support on the floor. And just wiggling the legs around a little, maybe bending the knees, shaking them out, letting the feet flop in and out. And then from the floor, bending up the knees, letting your feet be flat on the floor, making your way down in a way that is supportive to you, or holding onto the sides of the legs, scooping in through the belly and rounding yourself down. Lying flat on the floor for a moment, let the low back settle in. And from a chair, you can scoop back in the chair and just find support there. Allowing the low back to settle in. Extending the arms down alongside you from the floor for bridge pose. And pressing down through the feet, peeling your back up off the ground. And from the chair, you can let be a little arch created in the back, letting the spine press forward, lifting the heart up toward the ceiling. Or even just using the back of the chair for support as you open the arms out wide to the side. Go down on the floor, knees are bent, feet underneath the knees, thighs parallel to each other. And then just lifting the hips up off the floor, keeping the neck long, and noticing where your edges are in this and what stirs up for you. And take a breath in. And exhale, gently lower yourself down. Coming back to an upright position in the chair. Coming back to the back, resting on the floor. Pausing there as everything settles in. Hugging the right knee in toward the chest, extending the left leg out long. In the chair, you can just hug the right knee in. Maybe holding on underneath the thigh or on top of the knee. Allowing the shoulders to rest down away from the ears. And take a breath in. And gently releasing the right leg. Sole of the foot on the ground, knee bent. And then bringing the left knee into the chest. Letting the right leg extend out long from the floor. Just let it bend in the chair. Hugging the knee in. Exploring the edges in this position. And gently releasing the left leg down, extending it out to meet the right foot. And extend the arms up overhead, having a nice big stretch. Feel yourself nice and long, yawning or sighing if that comes up. And allowing the arms to relax down beside you. And if you're in the chair, sitting up nice and supported, letting the hands rest on the legs in a way that feels good. And down on the floor, resting in Shavasana, this corpse pose, dead man's pose. Allowing the eyes to fall shut or gazing down the nose or the cheekbones. And just as important as the movement is, this time for stillness, for rest is essential. Allowing the body to be held, supported. As you take a few moments in silence to just rest. In a moment, you'll hear the sound of the chimes, allowing this sound to be a moment of mindfulness, and maybe inviting some small movements into the body that are supportive to you, wiggling of the fingers or the toes, or a movement of the head from side to side. And maybe giving gratitude to yourself for taking this time to connect with yourself in this way, to be present with whatever was there, moment to moment, strong sensations, emotions, feelings, making space for it all. And letting these chimes mindfully move you to your next thing.